Everybody, welcome to the Real Music Observer. I bet you've been wondering, where the hell have you been? Well, I haven't been posting music videos. I have a political channel, and I'm kind of busy over on the politics right now since the future of the world sort of depends on me posting videos. So I've decided to take a little break, little hiatus from all the controversy about Steve Perry or Jeff Coffey or Jason Scheff. Holy moly, Batman! No, I love music. It's one of my passions. After all, it's a song by, was it Peter Cetera and Cher? After all, I think, I don't know. I'm here today to talk about a band that you probably don't care about, and because I have to do it because this band is never going to get the recognition they deserve. They started in 1968, okay? And bands like Buffalo Springfield spawned over here, and Crosby, Stills, and Nash spawned over there, and Richie Furay went this way, and Loggins went this way, and Messina went that way. And this band stayed together. And two creative geniuses, kind of like Henley and Fry, McCartney and Lennon. Okay, maybe that sounds extreme to people. Don't care. Don't care. I've listened to this band most of my adult life and part of my growing up part of my adult life. And my favorite album by them actually is Out of Print. Came out in 1980. All my friends were running out to buy Glass Houses by Billy Joel, which they made me buy. No, I loved Glass Houses. It was just, but I had friends that were into Bruce Springsteen. Oh, The River just came out, and Glass Houses. You got to buy that, and there were a number of other bands. New Wave was starting to catch, and of course I lived in Massachusetts, so you had to have the next Cars album, or you were just a complete moron. But this band, without this band, the Eagles probably wouldn't exist. One of their original members, Randy Meisner, you may have heard of him, went on to perform with the Eagles. When Randy decided that things were getting this is a little too crazy between Fry, Henley, Felder, and the whole, controversy of wanting to make albums and get your particular song on the record. By the way, I side with Don Felder. I side with Felder. There's going to be a lot of people that don't like that, but I love Don Felder. As a human being, Don Felder is a great guy. And no disrespect to the late, great Glenn Frey, who I think the No Fun Allowed first solo album by Glenn Frey could be the best album of that year. And I think Rolling Stone gave it like 2.5 or 3 stars, saying, yeah, good rockers, good ballads, not a bad little album from Glenn Frey. Kind of, made an album that we'd expect him to make. No, every song was a freaking home run. So, love Glenn Frey. So, sorry if you're thinking I'm on here trying to disparage the Eagles. I love the Eagles, I just don't like some of their personalities. Don Henley drives me crazy. I think was it Irv Azoff who said the guy was a curmudgeon, who was like, he was a malcontent. Those are the words he used. Actually, on the video, History of the Eagles, Don Henley is a malcontent. Don Henley also has one of the greatest vocals in rock history, and he's a decent songwriter, and he's a deep thinker, but sometimes it's like he thinks so deeply he falls into a canyon, and then you just, okay, Don, just you stay there. But I love the Eagles. But the band Poco, the band I'm talking about, Poco, P-O-C-O. Have you ever heard of Poco? Okay, I'll give you a couple of albums to go find, if you can find them. Under the Gun is the album I'm talking about from 1980. Black album cover, classic horse emblem logo. They started the classic horse logo on their prior album, Legend, which garnered them 2 big hits, at least for them. Heart of the Night and Crazy Love. The album is complete start to finish. If you put it on, you're going to hear songs like Barbados. You're going to hear just good. I mean, it's a Hotel California for Poco. It really is. But Under the Gun, to me, was like their pinnacle. They had a couple of Brit musicians that they had brought on board because the Eagles had sucked them dry. Meisner, of course, quit. Tim Schmidt, who was in Poco. Again, this is rock history. Tim Schmidt leaves, and I think Rusty Young used to make lots of jokes about that. By the way, Rusty Young is in Poco, in case you wanted to know. He used to make lots of jokes about Tim Schmidt and Randy Meisner, and then who are the Eagles going to take next? I'm waiting for the phone call from Don Henley. Rusty was just too much of a character, I'm sure, for the Eagles to adopt, and probably the best musician, would have ended up being the best musician in the band if they had brought him on board, because no person on earth right now plays a better pedal steel guitar than Rusty. So Rusty Young, this bud's for you, okay? Great, really incredible pedal steel guitar player. Don Felder, I'm sure, would agree, who, again, I'm a big Felder fan. In fact, I sent a message to, when the Eagles fired Felder, I said, Rusty, pick him up, man. They've been doing it to you guys for years. Why don't you put him in Poco? Nobody thought it was a good idea. I don't know. Maybe Felder is a troublemaker. I don't know. He seems like a nice guy. I think he would have been awesome in Poco, by the way. And then, who knows, maybe they could have... Poco... I guess this is the thing. I think Rusty Young would have said, no way are we performing any Eagles songs. No way. I don't care if I have a falsetto. No way. I'm not doing it. So, Poco should be in the Hall of Fame. They are that good. Their Mach 2 or Mach 3 lineup, when they transitioned, they had Paul Cotton, Rusty Young, and this guy, I think his name was Kim Bullard, and then they had another dude from... I think they were still might have had George Grantham on drums. I don't remember. But they had a killer 4 lineup, 4 people, maybe 5 in the lineup. They made some albums in the early 80s, too, on Atlantic that just... Atlantic, yes, we'll sign the contract. You can perform and compose music for us and see if you can get a hit. We're not going to help you promote the songs, but if you would like to do all that stuff, we'll make a nice little vinyl package and put it out there, and people maybe they'll look at it. Ghost Town. Find Ghost Town by Poco. Listen to it from start to finish. It's the Old West meets Hotel California. It just is. It's that good. And then Inamorata is the name of the next album on Atlantic. Superb. And then a whole bunch of albums for MCA. MCA is kind of like the... MCA was the record label graveyard. Ask Dennis DeYoung. Okay? Are you gonna at least even try to release a single off this particular album? No, it'll be in the record bins at your local Strawberries, and you can, if you like it, you'll buy it because, oh look, it's a Poco album. I like Poco. But as far as quality of albums, Under the Gun and Ghost Town, that's, I would say, from, say, 1976 to about 1982, 83, this band was hitting on all cylinders. Boom, boom, boom. It was just one of those, and they put out so much music. Look for the song Widowmaker if you have an opportunity. Look for that one. That one, I think, is floating around on YouTube and may even be uploaded to Spotify and some of those other places. But, this band, look, Rusty Young and Paul Cotton. Let me talk about Paul Cotton. Poor man's Neil Young. Poor man's Stephen Stills. Has a lot of a tropical sort of beach flavor to his stuff. He's down here, I think he lives down here in Florida somewhere, I think on the Keys. And he once in a while still goes out and performs. He left the band a few years back. I think that was a little surprise to Rusty Young, because Rusty and Paul were the glue and the cement. They kept everything together, I think, and the other players that they had brought in. I'm trying to think of some of their names, and I just can't right now, people. Just stop it, okay? If I could remember, I would tell you, but it's all good music. This is the thing. But Paul Cotton plays guitar like nobody's business, okay? He's got his own style. He shapes these songs like It just he's got a lot of passion and emotion, and he plays with it, and he sings with it, and he's one of those guys that kind of incorporates the Old West with kind of a West Coast flavor and a Southern flavor, and it's AOR meets adult contemporary, and my hands just came together. I mean, this is good stuff, people. Now, Poco should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because without Poco, the Eagles wouldn't exist in so many ways, because the Eagles at times were a band, not that they were copying Poco. Poco had their own style, but the Eagles were always trying to be a rock band and not a country rock band. Poco said, you know what, we might tamp down a little bit on our countryside, but we're not going to completely get rid of it. And I think that was the reason, especially if you listen to Ghost Town, and that's in the 80s, and you could tell the producers are trying to kind of import all of this modern technology, especially on Inamorata, where you listen to that and you go, they're really trying to be like, they're incorporating new wave sounds and a lot of keyboards, and at times it works, but at times you're like, no, just strip it back, and then you hear a song. There's a song on Inamorata that sounds like 10cc. It's a better song. Save a moment. I think it's save a moment for your heart, or save your heart for me, or something like that. You know, again, I just losing. I do love Poco. It's just my brain isn't functioning. Save a corner of your heart for me. It's an insanely good song. I mean, the guys at 10cc are thinking, that's our song. Can we have it back, please? Give it back. Okay? But Poco is one of these bands that is so underrated, so underappreciated, so undervalued, and all I'm doing on this video is ranting and raving about Rusty Young, Paul Cotton, and all the members of Poco, past, present, Richie Furay, Jim Messina, all of them. They all reunited in 1989, and they got Randy Meisner there, and they did Call It Love, and Randy had a ballad, and that was a really good album too. I think that was the other album's called Legend, and the newer album had the same title, I think, or it was the Legacy was the name of the newer album. So there you go, people. Poco. Go listen to some Poco. And if you don't like it, Tough Toenails. I do. It's great music. My name is Dave. This is The Real Music Observer. I'm observing. I'm not lecturing. Have a great day.